What's up, Moon Lords? We're back with another financial astrology update video on AMC that we've been doing since the beginning. We're one of the original AMC channels out here. This is definitely DD that you literally can't get anywhere else. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy to say that we have a lot of good news. We're finally going to enter a waxing moon. We have a new moon on Wednesday, or excuse me, new moon on Tuesday. We have Mercury coming out of retrograde on Friday. We have Venus that's coming out of retrograde today. That's a lot of major big shifts that we're going to be talking about. And we actually have some indications on the moon phase of a potential reverse. All right. So this is like one of the best I've felt doing a video for you guys in a long time, because there's actually really good signals. Now, before we get started, and you appreciate this DD, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you haven't checked us out at the Market Moonlord Discord, check us out. A lot of great people in there. And sometimes, guys, when I'm like not dropping videos, I am in there posting stuff, and that is a place where you can actually ask questions. So check us out at the Market Moonlord. And if you guys are interested in any personal astrology readings, whether it's like new moon readings, career readings, destiny readings, or just understanding your astrology better, you guys know you can hit me up at thebluemoonofneptune.com for a reading. Now, oh my gosh, this AMC situation has been dragging on, and we knew that they were going to do everything they could to get us the paper hand, and they really have brought out the guns. We are in straight up warfare. Gloves are totally off. They're not trying to hide anything. It's been a pretty stressful time. I'm not going to lie. But I still believe in this squeeze, and I still been buying, and I hope you guys have been too. Let us know in the comments below if you still been buying this dip, if you guys still believe in this squeeze. I want to say the community is still strong. I know there's not as many YouTubers covering this, but I still am. This has literally been what this whole channel has been covering since this whole thing started. I haven't done any other videos since. I'm a true dedicated ape, moonlord, diamond hander, whatever you want to call it. And if you are too, let us know in the comments below. Let us know you guys are supporting AMC, GameStop, meme stocks, whatever you guys are doing. Let us know. The movement is still strong, guys. Do not worry. Also, remember, we went from like 10 to or like 14 to 70 in a matter of like 5 days. Always remember that, guys. And also remember, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So with that in mind, it's worth the risk. Okay, we're not going to have another chance like this. We saw the SEC is making them have more transparency, and there's not going to be crazy short plays like this probably ever again. Okay, so get on the boat before it's too late. Or the spaceship before it's too late, because we are going past the moon. Hopefully we go to Neptune. That's the destination. If we go to Pluto, I'm cool with that too, but I really want to stop by the blue moon of Neptune. Okay, so we're gonna go over the moon phase videos, or the moon's phase chart, of course, and then we're gonna check out the main points of the stars that I mentioned earlier today. So before we get started on that, I do want to say, yes, I did say that we're potentially going to squeeze in January of 2021. I was calling that out for over 7 months. And yeah, we did have a huge month, but it was the huge month to the downside. So I apologize. Hey, it's the first time I made any type of predictions this entire time I've been covering AMC. Okay, so give me that one, guys. Things were lining up, but it just went the other direction. And it is what it is. But I also said, when I made that prediction in that this couple, like 3 videos back, the January video, at the beginning of January, I also said March looks absolutely amazing. A lot of people are actually calling that out too. Okay, March actually looks better than it did in this January. So I'm very excited for March, plus it's Pisces season. Therefore, it is my birthday. We are going to look at the moon phases for AMC. I'm going to be running through this DD, giving you guys the key points leading up to this full moon that we have coming up in 2 weeks. Welcome to the Market Moonlord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the blue moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, so we're going to look at this chart real quick, and then we're going to look at the SPY chart, because the SPY is actually signaling a new moon reversal too, more so than AMC is. Okay, so first of all, we finally you could totally see over here that we got choppy around this mark, around that $15 area right before the new moon, and then we did have a little bit of a drop down to the 14s, and then we went right to this line right here. That's the new line I made on this new face. We had this line drawn at the $17 mark for months, and back in I want to say the end of November, the beginning of December, I said, hey, that $17 mark is starting to look more likely, and we bounced right underneath that, going all the way down to almost high 13s. That's crazy. Okay, so I think anything under that $17 mark is a strong buy, and I think that we're probably, if we do go much lower than this, it would probably be just on Monday, because we're about to go into that new moon, and typically we do to get a new moon reverse, and we are definitely due for one. Okay, we had a little fake out right here, and then on this new moon, we actually went down. Okay, so we're definitely due for a reversal on this new moon. When we look at the indicators, we definitely are seeing everything starting to point up. The RSI, the stochastic, is starting to point up, but it's still very, very, very oversold, very low, almost zero momentum based on that. But it's still pointing up, which is obviously the right direction, and it looks like it's leading to that new moon beautifully, which is going to be on Tuesday, guys. And also, we could totally see on the MACD that we're starting to squeeze less red and hopefully go into the green. Now, if I go to the 8-hour chart on AMC on the moon phases, I do want to point out that we did have a major increase in traffic, and we're also starting to squeeze green on the actual MACD. Okay, so we are looking like we're going to reverse potentially on this new moon. It does look very likely, and then what we want to do is we definitely want to break this $17. I can't believe it's a resistance now, but we want to break that $17 level. Hopefully this week, and then that will take us to this $30 level, $28 level by this full moon. And then if we do hit that 3 days before the full moon, we could be going back into the 30s. Okay, so that's the plan there. I want to pull up the SPY, because the SPY definitely is showing us some potential divergence with the new moon phase. Okay, so if you guys have ever checked me out at the on my trading view account, you'll know that I've covered the moon phases on the SPY several times, and the SPY is showing some very, very, very interesting stuff. So what I did right here is I pointed out kind of how we get choppy if we start heading down on after a full moon on the SPY, and then we get choppy before the new moon. You can see here, we head down on the waning period, the black background on the waning period. We got choppy right before the new moon, and then that led into an uptrend. Got choppy, led into an uptrend. Got choppy, led into an uptrend. So when it drops after a full moon, gets choppy right before a new moon, it does seem to have a reverse trend. Now, if we look at the indicators, that the RSI is starting to heat up a little bit. It looks like it wants to get to that 50 mark. It already started squeezing green. Okay, now since it is a new moon, okay, and the SPY does track the phases pretty good here. Okay, you can see a lot of bounces off the phases. That does signify, based on that we are heading towards at least a temporary short-term, bull run in the market potentially. Okay. Now, one thing I thought was very interesting, because one of the indicators we want to look at is volume. Okay, when we're looking at the moon phases. So if I go to the 8-hour chart, excuse me, this is the day chart. You can see it more clearly here. The choppiness right before the new moon that leads into hopefully a reversal uptrend. Okay. Now, and then look at that volume increase going up here. Now, if you look into all the way over here, you can see over here we got a little choppy. We got a little choppy right before the new moon. And look at this date, guys. We're looking at March 2020, okay? We all know what that was about. So we got a little choppy, and then we bounced right on that new moon. And that was a crash, right? And everyone was saying this last week where we were crashing. Look at this traffic, or not traffic, I'm a web designer too, guys. Look at this volume. The last time we hit volume this high was that period, okay? And then that last trading day, last time we hit buying volume that high was literally of April 2020, guys. Okay, so the volume is there for a reversal. Okay, we got some major volume coming in. This is look at this chart. Look at that volume this last week. That's pretty bullish to me. Okay, and it looks like the SPY does want to reverse on this new moon. So I'm very, very excited for that. You guys let me know if you guys think the SPY and the markers are going to reverse this week. Because I like this, I like to think if it does reverse, that's very good for AMC. Okay, I know everything crashing put a lot of pressure on the hedge funds. They might have to come up with more capital and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, when the market's crashing, we have more paper handlers. Okay, it's better if the market's going up. So you guys let me know what you guys found in the market. If the market is going up this week coming into this new moon, I definitely think it will be. Now let's check out the stars for AMC. We have a lot of things to cover. Okay, so this Venus has been retrograde since December 19th. Okay, now that's literally like a couple days after that was literally the last time we saw 30s. Okay, after Venus went retrograde, we stayed in the 30s for like another day or two, and then we went right down to the 20s, and we've been on a downtrend literally ever since Venus retrograde. Okay, now Venus goes out of retrograde today on Saturday, the 29th of January. Thank G. And so that right there could definitely signify a reversal in the markets in general. Okay, Venus rules relationships. Venus rules money because of relationships. You need relationships for money. Okay, so this is really good for the stock market in general. Trust me on that. This could definitely signify a reversal everywhere. Man, this is some good stuff getting Venus out of retrograde. Oh my gosh, you guys, look, I just hovered my mouse over Venus and look at the top there. It says 1111. Okay, gateways are opening. That is hilarious, guys. I just put it on 9:30 a.m. Venus is the first time it'll not be, see that no longer has the R. So it's the first time it's not going to be retrograde since December 19th. Okay, and then right when I put my mouse over it, we get the, look, we get 1111. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling that. That's telling me that I'm definitely in the right mindset here. And real quick, guys, go ahead and hit that like button to show some love. I appreciate literally each and every one of you guys. And since we're talking about Venus rules relationships, I literally want to say I truly appreciate everybody. Okay, and this has been an amazing journey where we have got to connect to a lot of people that we typically wouldn't connect to. Okay, and that's Venus energy. Okay, Venus rules connecting with others, being in harmony, being in good energy with other people. And this is just a great time for everyone to start moving forward with a little bit more optimism, a little bit more love, a little bit more harmony, a little bit more balance. All right, Venus coming out of retrograde is good for everybody just to feel better. Okay, so congratulations to us. Now Venus comes out of retrograde and it's right on top of AMC's Pluto 0 degrees. That is amazing. Okay, so Venus has been retrograde and then starts pushing forward right on top of Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of sudden changes. Enough said. If we have any type of merger activity, Venus relationships, Pluto rules takeovers, power, resources. It's really good for that type of thing. But no matter what, Venus on top of Pluto, this is a mark of sudden changes, especially since Venus is no longer out of retrograde, giving us that restriction. Now, one thing I do want to say is there is a shadow period for Venus, okay? And that's basically when Venus went retrograde, it was way over here with this Pluto. And then it went backwards. And now it's going forward again. But until it comes back to this point, it's still in what we call a shadow period. So when it comes out of this point, that's when it's truly a move. That's when it's truly a move forward energy. Okay. Now it comes out of that on March 1st, 22nd, or excuse me, March 1st, 2022. And that's great because it'll be right there on top of Pluto, right there on top of AMC's ascendant. Then we're gonna have a lot of things in the first house for AMC. So that's more bullish energy for March. But yes, sudden changes on top of this Pluto could definitely be happening. Venus going direct to me is definitely bullish for the entire stock market. Now, speaking of retrogrades, we still have Mercury retrograde, okay? You see Mercury retrograde right here? Mercury has a lot to do with stock markets too, because Mercury rules communication, things being organized. It rules technology. It has a lot to do with, contracts and agreements. That's been retrograde. It going forward that will signify those things going forward and a new beginning there. Now, Mercury will be coming out of retrograde on Friday. Okay, so that's amazing, amazing, amazing. So we have 2 planets this week that have a lot to do with what's happening to the stock market, both going forward this week for AMC and for the whole market. So yeah, bullish energy to me. So we'll cover Friday when we get there, but before that, let's go to Tuesday, where we have, thank God, the new moon. Okay. Okay, so I have Tuesday right at the new moon, which is when the moon meets the sun in the sky next to each other. It's called a conjunction. And that's literally at midnight, 12:30 a.m. February 1st. I went ahead and pulled that up. Now, we're not making any direct aspects with this actual phase. However, that doesn't really matter. It's still a new moon. And it's happening in AMC's first house, okay? So that's AMC's like persona, AMC's projection, the map of AMC's life, the direction it wants to go, okay? So if a person has a new moon in their first house, I say, hey, this is new beginnings, new chapter. Start something new, start something fresh. What have you been trying to do? What have you been trying to accomplish? This is a great time to do it. It's a great time to make progress, great time to grow, okay? Amazing having a new moon in AMC's first house. Another bullish indicator. And we always talked about how when AMC first ran up, it had a lot of first house energy. Okay, so the first house is a major role for AMC. It's also the sign of Aquarius. Okay, we're having a new moon in sign Aquarius. Aquarius literally represents the people, society, communities, us having more strength. It's the water barrier. It's the guy taking the water, called the water barrier, and he takes the water out of the well and he gives it to the people, giving people strength, giving the people their own power source. That's what Aquarius is about. It's about helping society as a whole become stronger. Okay, so this is a really awesome new moon for AMC in AMC's first house. New beginnings, innovative beginnings, original ideas, pioneering ideas, because Aquarius is new, innovative. It has a lot to do with technology too. Breakthroughs, okay, sudden breakthroughs, okay, destroying the old, bringing in the new. All right, so new chapters for AMC. And that brings me to another point. Mercury is retrograde in AMC's 12th house, okay? Mercury rules communication. 12th house is the internal place. You're not really supposed to be external from 12th house energy. Okay, so having Mars entering AMC's first house, Venus or 12th house, Venus in the 12th house for AMC, Mercury in the 12th house for AMC, and Pluto in the 12th house for AMC. To me, this almost shows a really behind the scenes moving energy where AMC may not be saying things externally, but they're probably doing a lot of work internally. However, it's not necessarily a time to be external. So I think that's kind of why we haven't really seen a lot of news from AMC directly. However, since we're having a new moon in the first house, Mercury's coming out of retrograde this week and will be entering the first house as well. We will start to see news for AMC soon from the actual company. Okay, I almost can guarantee that. All right, so the new moon is looking pretty good. Another thing I want to say on this new moon is Venus is directly opposite AMC's moon and is conjunct at Pluto. That's very, very strong energy. Okay, I do think we're going to get a little bit of volatility on Tuesday on this new moon. Okay, so I have Wednesday pulled up. Now, one thing I don't really care for on Wednesday is we have a nasty Mars square Mars and Mars squares Uranus. Okay, now Mars square Mars is very tight. Mars rules war, guys, and Mars rules cutting energy, competition. A lot of like energy, like a surge of energy, and as a square is uncomfortable. Okay, it's friction. Now, when we ran up to 70, Mars was getting aspected from Mercury. Okay, but it was a positive aspect. Now this is a negative aspect from Mars. So this is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, and it's getting a square from Uranus. So I think Wednesday is going to be extremely volatile. Okay, and Mars square Mars is more bearish than bullish. However, there is some positive things on this day, and one thing I want to talk about is the fact that the moon went into Pisces. Okay, many times where we have major runs, 20% or more on AMC, is when the moon was in Pisces in this similar area. Okay, so it will be conjunct Jupiter, which Jupiter rules expansion in astrology. Is also co-rules Pisces, is very strong. The moon likes to be in a water sign. This is really nice energy for Wednesday. And we get a moon trine moon. Okay, that's when the moon is looking at AMC's moon perfectly. That's actually beautiful. AMC's moon is very strong because it's naturally in the sign of Cancer, which is the moon's home sign. And then this transiting moon is also making a nice little sextile to Pluto. And Pluto, and that, remember, Pluto is getting that conjunction from Venus and a trine from Uranus 0 degrees. So hey, something is popping off. This is a very climax moment, okay? And also happening on Wednesday is what's happening in AMC's moon. Remember, it's getting a trine from the moon, it's getting an opposition from Venus, sextile from Uranus 0 degrees, and a trine from Jupiter. Very explosive energy with that Uranus energy, very expansive energy with that Jupiter energy. Venus energy is really good for positive momentum into the stock. Okay, so I'm actually looking forward to Wednesday, but I am a little nervous for this Mars square Mars. Okay, there could be some sharp moves on Wednesday. And it's probably going to be very volatile on Wednesday, okay? But overall, there's definitely more good than bad. And we're in a waxing period of the moon, which is another indication of upside. Okay, so the one thing I want to point out on Thursday was very interesting. Look at the moon. The moon is looking at AMC's Jupiter, making a trine 1 degree, very sexy. And then if I go to Jupiter, transiting Jupiter is making a trine to AMC's moon 0 degree. What the heck? All right, so both transiting Jupiter and transiting moon is hitting AMC's Jupiter and moon. All right, it's kind of weird. We know Jupiter deals with expansion. Jupiter also deals with legal matters. Okay, so if there's any legal matters happening here, this is actually pretty bullish. We know the moon deals with the people. It deals with companies that deal with hospitality, especially any type of business that's like about nourishing people and giving that type of hospitality to them. That would be like the moon sign now, or the moon planet. So having that type of energy of expansion with the moon is very good for stocks like AMC, and it's happening to AMC stock. So I'm actually looking forward to Thursday. We still have that nasty Mars square Mars that's not going away anytime soon. But that is pretty, this Jupiter moon energy is pretty interesting to me. Okay. Now Uranus is making a 0 degree trine to Pluto and a 0 degree sextile to the moon. That's been happening for some time, but now it's almost exact. I mean, look at that, 0.08. All right. So that's really almost exact. And Uranus is such a slow moving planet. I can't ignore that. When it comes exactly on top of or trying Pluto like that, that could be really, really sudden moves, really, really, really sudden moves. And Jupiter hitting the moon like that is also a very expansive move. Okay, so I'm very bullish. Now, everything I said about each day that we had so far could be waiting on this Mercury coming out of retrograde. Okay. So Mercury comes out of retrograde on Friday, and that's really like the two major events this week is the new moon on Tuesday. We really want to see that reverse on Tuesday. And then on Friday, what happens when Mercury comes out of retrograde? Those two things are going to be very, very telling. If we get a shift, reversal into the new moon, that's great. And if we continue to go up on the Mercury retrograde or Mercury going direct, that's amazing. Or we don't really reverse on a new moon, and then on the Mercury retrograde, that's when we start reversing, okay? Because Mercury retrogrades in general can create swings in the stock market in general, okay? So keep that in mind. Mercury comes out of retrograde on February 1st, Friday, and that's going to be amazing. And when it comes out of retrograde, it is making a sextile to the midheaven. Now, the midheaven does have to do with the public eye of the stock, okay? Has a lot to do with the company's reputation. So we could see some type of changes happening there for the better. All right, it's a positive aspect, and then it's also getting a trine from Neptune. Okay, now we've been talking about that Neptune squaring this Mercury in the sky since like almost the third month we've been tracking this. That's when it started happening, and we always talked about how that was AMC taking care of the manipulation behind the scenes and how the manipulation is going to come out. And as funny as happening when it hits 0 degrees, it starts to get that trine to the midheaven, which is the company's reputation, and the Mercury goes out of retrograde, making a sextile to the midheaven. Okay, so something about AMC's reputation is going to change, and it's probably going to be for the better. And we're going to get some newsworthy information about this stock and the manipulation that's been happening behind the scenes. I know we've been getting that, but it's Mercury retrograde. There's still news to come out of that, and it can be very it could be like a catalyst type news. Okay, so keep that in mind. But Mercury retrograde is very, very, very bullish, and I'm very, very excited for this week. Mercury out of retrograde, Venus out of retrograde, and we got the new moon. After retrogrades, it does take time for the energy to build up, so it's not like I'm going to be pessimistic if we start going down this week, but I am very, very bullish for this week. I am very bullish. I'm just going to say I'm very bullish for this week. It looks like it's going to reverse, okay? So hopefully you guys got something out of this. If you appreciated this DD, go ahead and drop a like button. I appreciate that. If you're new here and haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And guys, if you guys want a new moon reading, Venus out of retrograde, which is really good for relationships and stuff like that, reading, just hit me up. Check me out at my website, thebluemoonofneptune.com. I literally love talking about the stars, guys. That's what I do. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Let everyone know if you're still holding AMC, if you're still supporting the movement. Let me know if you guys have been buying still. I know I have been. I truly, truly think this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I hope you guys don't miss your opportunity to make some serious tendies. We simply have to hold. The longer we hold an investment, the safer it becomes. So just relax, okay, guys? Everybody just relax. We're good on the taxes for a lot of people now. That's amazing. I think we're just going to have to wait a few more months, hopefully March, and then we're going to be good, all right? So I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching a Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.